So what's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jim. I'm married to a Filipino. My wife's name's Dexel. We live on the province of Negros Oriental. Today I want to talk about the taxi services in the Philippines. And Dexel and I have traveled quite a bit on the taxi services in Cebu. A lot of my flights I would fly into Mactan, Newton, and then we would stay with beautiful airport. And, we would stay there for a couple days because usually it's 3 airports to get to the Philippines. And being with my Filipino wife, I've watched tons of channels. I tried to do a lot of research on the Philippines, and we probably all watch the same bloggers. Well, Sabu City, the taxi services, the first thing I would do is ask them, are you metered? And they would say, yeah, I would see the meter in there. And we never had a problem. I mean, driving in Cebu, I remember being in the taxi, even from the airport to get to Mactan, Newton with traffic, maybe 45 minutes or so. Maybe it's an hour, 45, sometimes a half an hour, because usually I got to stop we'll stop at like the 7-Eleven. I believe it's around the corner from the S&R store, and I usually have to go to the CR, which is the bathroom, and it's usually under 500 peso. Even downtown, we've stayed at the Waterfront Hotel, and they have the taxis. You come out, and the door guy, good morning, sir, ma'am. What do you need? I said, we need a taxi. Taxi pulls up. Dexter and I will just jump in there. I usually don't ask if they're metered. We've never had a problem. Usually it's under 500 peso. It's worth it. I'm figuring, why even buy a vehicle? It's the traffic down there is ridiculous. So anyways, I got a pretty good one here. I thought I'm not really thinking about getting scammed. I mean, the Filipino people, just the culture, they're happy-go-lucky. So I'm in Newport City, so I'm right across from Terminal 3. I had to go over there to get my exit clearance, emergency. They do them 24 hours. The town I'm in, or close to, 3 hours away, is Dumaguete. They don't do the exit clearances there. So anyways, I prepare. I got my bag packed. I go over to the immigration there at the airport to get my exit clearance. I get that done, went very fast. So as I'm walking out of the airport, before I even get to the doors, there's a guy, hey sir, what do you need? You need taxi? I'm like, yeah, but there's tons of taxis out there. And after this little incident that happened, I was kind of thinking, the way he was pressing me. Oh no, I got taxi over here for you, trying to grab my bag. And I'm like, sir, I got my bag, it's okay. And so I get to the taxi, he opens up the door. And I tell the driver, I says, look, this ain't my first rodeo. I'm married to a Filipina. Are you metered? Oh, yes, sir. We're metered. Okay, so I jump in. Well, the guy that's kind of introduced me, he gets in the front seat. And I kind of thought that was kind of strange. But I got all this anxiety. If you watch one of my previous videos on why I came back to the United States, maybe you might understand, but I just had enough. I had to get back here. And so I get in the car, or the taxi, and we're driving, and if you ever been over there to Terminal 3, where you come out of the airport, I guess you would call it like an expressway there. We're leaving, and we're just where we hit the expressway, and they pull this laminated piece of paper out, and they hand it to me, and I look at it, I see these prices. I says, what is this? And they said, oh, it's changed. These are the new prices. And I look, and it says 5,500 peso, and I'm like, 5,500 peso? I said, I just asked you if you're metered, again, the things, the times have changed. I go, change? I was just here 2 days ago, did this same trip, and it was 500 peso. Actually, I think it was only 400 or 480, because I gave them a tip, and I had to pay the 80-cent coverage for the toll for this special road they go on or something. I had to pay 80 peso toll or toll charge or something. Well, I tell them, no, that's unacceptable. Let me out. So I'm looking around and I'm like, are you kidding me? The airport's back there. I'm basically on the E-way. I'm going to have to walk. I go, Jesus Christ. Well, they start talking and they come back and they say 2,800 peso. At this point, I just want to get to the airport, get my boarding pass because get my boarding pass and because I already know how it's going to be over there at the airport. Wait in this line. Nothing ever seems to work out. You got to have a lot of patience, and I'm kind of learning that. And I just say, screw it. Let's just, I'll pay it. So I get over there, you know, I get out, and I basically just kind of tell him, I go, man, I go, that's a bunch. I go, if my wife was here, you guys wouldn't have been pulling that stuff. And he's just kind of smiling, and, you know, but the way I look at it, if I had to take a flight, or if I had to take over here, we got like the Metro cars, taxi service from where I live here in Michigan to Detroit Metro, you know, I don't even know probably 150 to 250 bucks. You know, I don't even know. But so I was looking at, all right, they got me for 50 bucks. No big deal. I'm on my way back. So, like I said, you know, I watch a lot of the same videos. I try to learn, but at my age, 53 years old, I kind of joke around. I got that disease, CRS, can't remember shit. And I can tell you, I can watch video after video, and I try to, you know, take in all this information, and it just goes, I just can't remember sometimes, you know, or it's such a slow process there. There's sometimes my stress is up. Sometimes it's, I mean, I have really good days in the Philippines too, but sometimes it's in that chaotic city. It's just kind of, you know, you got people coming up and, you know, hands out money, this, money, this. I mean, I would like to, I mean, it'd be nice to help out everybody, but I figured, you know, that day, giving the people like $2,800, I mean, obviously, at least they can eat good or maybe they can save a little bit of money. But anyways, I thought I would just share that. And I'm sure I'm going to get a bunch of comments. Oh, you should have done this. You should have done that. Well, in the situation I was in, you know what? They got me. But still, it's way cheaper than the price I would have paid here in the United States. So, and I'm back home. So now I got to start the process here, you know, getting medical insurance. I'm waiting on jobs, bid at a couple jobs, and I'm waiting for these things to get ready, lumber ordered. But well, hope to see you guys on my next video. Peace.